Good morning. It's Mother's Day. Come on. Good morning.
How you doing? Hey,
Ah,
I raised my hand.
and welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. I am the Reverend Dana Worsnop, minister of this expansive, creative community of resistance, resilience, and kindness. As we celebrate a day honoring those who have mothered us, we gather ever and always to keep love at the center of our lives and the way we move in the world. All are welcome, no matter how you got yourself here into our sanctuary, on foot, online, via all kinds of possible configurations of wheels, 2 and 4 and 1, possibly. We are a community of many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders, and you are welcome. We preface our services by acknowledging that our building rests on the unceded ancestral homelands of the Chumash peoples. And so we pause and remember that we live on holy ground. Ground crying out for justice and for responsible stewardship. And so remembering, may we find the courage to do our part to restore wholeness to the earth and to all her peoples. I have a few quick announcements. One, after the service today at 11:30, go out, get some coffee, have some conversation, and if you want to know more about the 2025-2026 church budget, come back into the sanctuary at about 11:30, and we'll have a congregational conversation and answer questions and have discussion. Also, in 2 weeks, there is a new program starting up in the church called Who's Your Neighbor? It's a program to help form smaller communities within our church by geographical areas and hopefully finding ways to deepen our connections even closer. And the gathering will be after church, May 25th, and it'll organize around zip codes for trying to create mutual support groups. Lastly, there are several things coming up in June, and this is just to save the date. Best way to find out about these things is to look at UUCV This Week, which comes out on Thursdays. If we have your email address and your permission, we'll send it to you. And that's the best way to find out what's going on at church. But save these dates. June 1st is our annual picnic that'll be after church at Arroyo Verde Park. On June 6th, which is a Friday, we're going to have my farewell retirement party. Here at church at 5 p.m., it'll be in Berg Hall. And they're planning fun things that I don't know all about, so that's all I can say. On the next Sunday, June 6th, we will have our annual meeting where new officers to the board will be elected and the budget will be voted upon. And we're also having flower communion that Sunday. So if you come, please bring a flower. Just bring a flower and a couple extra if you got them. And if you know, and it'll be a wonderful surprise if you don't know why. And lastly, my final Sunday in this pulpit will be June 15th. So we've got a month, a little bit more yet together. And so, this community is created by the kindness, the goodwill, and the powerful imaginings of all who gather here. And so, holding all of that, let us enter sacred space.
I'm Worship Associate Jim Merrill, and we invite those who are Zooming in to light a chalice or candle at home, as Reverend Dana lights the chalice of our free faith here in the sanctuary. Our opening words today come not from one, but from four sages. Albert Einstein tells us that imagination is more important than knowledge. The philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau reminds us the world of reality has limits. The world of imagination is boundless. Along these lines, our own Henry David Thoreau advises, the world is but a canvas to our imaginations. And Mr. Rogers gives us this permission and encouragement. Whatever we choose to imagine can be as private as we want it to be. Nobody knows what you're thinking or feeling unless you share it. Come, let us imagine and worship together.
I'm Music Director Carolyn Bierke, and I would like to invite you all to join me in singing Gather the Spirit. Please rise and body your spirit.
My name is Lily Rappaport. I'm the Director of Family Ministry, and now is the time that we invite all those young or young at heart to come join me in front for the time for the child in each of us. So today's story is called Be Kind, written by Pat Zeitlow Miller, illustrated by Jen Hill. But what the author says is that there are two very, very important words. They're very important, very strong. And do you know what they could be? Kind. Kind? Right. So two words. Be kind. That's what she labeled the story. So be kind, and kindness is right. Very good. Tanisha spilled grape juice yesterday. All over her new dress. Everyone laughed. I almost did too, but Mom always tells me to be kind. So I tried. I don't think it worked. I said, "Purple's my favorite color." I thought Tanisha would smile, but she ran into the hall instead. When she came back, snack time was over. She put on her art smock and didn't look at anyone. I almost told Tanisha that art was my favorite class, but I didn't want her to leave again. So I painted purple splotches and added some green until I had a bunch of beautiful violets. And while I painted, I thought about Tanisha. Should I have handed her my napkin? Let her borrow my sweatshirt? Should I have spilled my juice so everyone stared at me instead? What does it mean to be kind anyway? So maybe it's giving, making cookies for Mr. Rinaldi, who lives all alone, letting someone with smaller feet have my too tight shoes. He might win races in them too. Maybe it's helping putting dirty dishes in the sink, cleaning up after Otis, our class guinea pig. He's a very messy eater. How many of you take care of animals? That's being kind to the animals, right? Yeah. Maybe it's paying attention, telling Desmond, "I like your blue boots," asking the new girl to be my partner, listening to Aunt Franny's stories, even the ones I've heard before. Being kind should be easy, like throwing away wrappers or recycling a bottle, or saying, "Thank you, bless you." My mom says the quickest way to be kind is to use people's names. "Hey, Kayla. What's new, Omar?" "Good afternoon, Rabbi Mendelbaum." Being kind can be hard, too, even when you know what to do. Like teaching someone something that I'm good at is tricky. And even when I'm patient, it's tricky. And sticking up for someone when other kids aren't kind is really hard and can be really scary. Maybe I can't solve Tanisha's grape juice problem. Maybe all I can do is sit next to her in art class and paint this picture for her because I know she likes purple too. Maybe I can only do small things, but many small things might join small things other people do. And together, they could grow into something big. Something really big. So big that our kindness spills out of our school, throughout the town, travel across the country, and go all the way around the world. I mean, who out here has been around the world and seen kindness? Right? Yeah, okay. Goes all around the world and right back to Tanisha and me, and right here. So we can be kind again and again and again. I was going to say the end, but I think the beginning, because today we're going to be kind, okay, and see what happens. And as we hold our kindness, if you would kindly form a bridge of love in the center aisle, we will sing our children out to their classes.
As you go. May your heart be at peace as you go.
Each Sunday, this congregation gives away our entire collection to an organization in our larger community or to funds that help people in our own church. Those of you who are at home have two ways to give. If you're on Zoom, there will be a link posted in the Zoom chat, or you can text the word assist to the number that is on the screen. Those here in the sanctuary also have two ways to give. You can text to give to this number, and you can also put cash or checks in the, if you still have them, in the box on the back of the sanctuary after the service. And the truth is that everybody has three ways, because you can just go on our website and click in and you can give there, you can make a pledge there. There's all kinds of stuff you can do on the website too. Number 3. Our offering today goes to Planned Parenthood, which helps ensure that any patient who turns to them, women and men, are able to get the services they need, even if they can't afford it. Here's a story shared by a Planned Parenthood patient. Last year, I didn't have the right kind of insurance and did not have access to an OBGYN when my HMO didn't allow me to see a gynecologist, even with significant health issues. Planned Parenthood gave me an exam the weekend that I called, and tests showed more complications, so they acted right away and gave me a plan of action and taught me what I needed to know. They gave me multiple options for birth control, and when other still more conditions required appointments, at least every 2 months, they gave me the medicine I needed without a complaint about being a frequent flyer. I've seen countless couples going in for STD testing, women getting feminine health care, mothers getting general exams, and I am so eternally grateful for this organization and all that it has done for me and other women and men in my community. Thank you for giving generously, as you always do. We are grateful for the generosity of this congregation, which weaves a tapestry of love that we call community within and beyond our sanctuary walls. Thank you.
Now is the time in our service when we hold up the great joys and sorrows that grace our lives. We place a stone in water for each celebration or lamentation to represent the way each ripples out throughout our community. I invite you now to speak into the gathered community or write into the Zoom chat the names of those you wish to celebrate, memorialize, or bring into the embrace of this beloved community. Reverend Dana will now place one final stone in the water for all the joys and sorrows just shared and those yet unspoken in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. May we be truly grateful for all that is our life.
Please remain seated as we sing Ubi Caritas. This translates to where kindness and love abound, God is there. We'll sing it 3 times.
Our reading this morning is in 2 voices, adapted from the Reverend Mary Harrington in honor of Mother's Day. Let us sing praise and thanksgiving for the gift of life itself. Someone gave birth to us, and some of us have given birth. All of us have been mothered in our time.
May this be a time of recognition that we arrived from so many places. Joy and delight, wistfulness and longing and worry, unmet needs and unfulfilled dreams, loss and sorrow, loss and emptiness, loss and regret. All that life is made of, mothers are made of too.
Today we sing the songs of so many mothers who are single parents, foster parents, mothers who relinquished their young out of necessity, mothers who found their heart in adoption, mothers who left their children in 1,000 ways, mothers who rejoice, and mothers who mourn.
We sing the songs of the grandmother, the auntie, the classroom teacher, the Sunday school teacher, the babysitter, the neighbor with endless cookies and time.
There is a kind of love we cannot live without. It is never too late, no matter our age or situation. We sing a song of gratitude for all the moments of being known, being cherished, being found.
I invite you now into a time of meditation. Place your feet on the floor if you're comfortable doing so. Close your eyes if you wish. and breathe. Simply notice the in-breath and out-breath. Take your time. Simply breathe. How have you given thanks for the gift of life itself? How have you been known, cherished, found, seen? Who have you known, cherished, found, and seen? How do you imagine kindness arising from all of it? A silent meditation.
And passion, fear,
Thank you. The phrase random acts of kindness is largely attributed to Bay Area writer and activist Ann Herbert, who apparently wrote the phrase random acts of kindness and senseless acts of beauty on a placemat in Sausalito in 1982. It was her response at the time to the phrase random acts of violence and senseless acts of cruelty. And this was in the midst of the significant rise in violent crime in the United States, roughly from the 60s and into the 90s. Now, I never really liked the senseless acts of beauty part, because beauty is never senseless. Though giving it a little bit of that historical context helped explain it. Cruelty is senseless, and beauty can be an antidote. In the midst of a time of higher violence and despair at how to address and control it, a Bay Area activist, of course, imagined a world of greater kindness and beauty. Herbert eventually wrote a book, and the phrase just went out everywhere. Graffiti, Jack Cornfield, everybody. There are so many really awful things happening in our beloved country and beyond right now. I will note that crime, especially violent crime, has fallen significantly over the last 40 years, although it just doesn't feel that way all the time. And beyond that, there is just so much. I'm not even going to attempt to list it all. I will likely miss naming some awfulness, and even an incomplete list is just more than I can take. And yet there are also many ways to resist and many levels to resist on, many forms that resistance can take. And this day, I invite you to imagine kindness, random and more. For I am finding in the midst of the mess, all of it, that simply being kind is an immediate antidote to my despair. In the midst of ugliness and rancor, can kindness be an act of resistance? It definitely makes me feel so much better. Can it possibly even change the world? Former Nebraska governor and senator, Vietnam vet and author Bob Kerrey has said, quote, "The unexpected kindness is the most powerful, least costly, and most underrated agent of human change." And in this, from the story that we heard earlier, a child ponders, maybe I can only do small things, but my small things might join into small things that other people do. And together they could grow into something big, so big that all our kindness spills out of our school, our church, and even goes all the way around the world, right back to me, to all of you. So we can be kind again and again and again. May this be the beginning. And this is not to say that we stop the other acts of resistance, including sometimes righteously angry and in-your-face ones. It's just that we can also imagine a kinder world, particularly in our daily lives, with the people we connect with in the most basic ways. I think this kind of kindness can be a spiritual practice, an ethical way of living my values. That's how deeply it can feel to me, this kind of deliberate, intentional, habitual, and sometimes random kindness. The hatred and vitriol that people are hurling at each other does no good. It just makes us all madder and more prone to lashing out. The kindnesses that I am able to offer may actually help me as much or more than it does any of the people I am kind to. It helps me have hope in everyone's potential goodness, even if I can't see it right there, that I can keep going, thinking that, holding us all with that kind of compassion and grace. I do try to be intentionally kind and also aware of the seemingly random kindnesses that come my way. One of my practices has been that I try really, really hard to be kind to people in call centers. Even after I've pressed 4 and 9 and 0, 0, 0, and been on hold for some number of minutes. And finally, I am speaking to a live human. Perhaps especially then. Because I also know, not by experience, but just by hearing the stories, I know what a truly miserable job it can be. It is tempting, after all that waiting, to take out my frustration and impatience on a disembodied voice. It is really tempting. I have to concentrate not to be snippy. So I breathe and I practice it, the ones deep into the belly, and I try very hard to listen and I try really, really hard not to interrupt them before they're done explaining something. And then when we finally got the issue resolved, or as far as we can get it at that point, I actively practice thanking them, affirming and complimenting on how helpful they were, or sometimes just how helpful they tried to be. When when I finally listened all the way through to what they were saying, and sometimes it actually was the answer I was seeking. I listened, and they found their way through the intricacies of their systems, so I thank them and I affirm them. You were really helpful. How are you? The thing about names, that a simple kindness is calling people by name. That's kind of gobsmacking. It's not just hello, but hello, Francois, or Frederick, or Amy, or just calling somebody by name. So I try to write their names down, right? Try to write their names down and actually thank you, Angela, for your help. I really appreciate it. And they're usually really grateful to hear it, because I think they hear an awful lot of really, really cranky people blaming them for things that maybe are their fault and probably are not. And one of the reasons this practice is more vital today, I think, practice of kindness, is that in such fraught times, and with all of the anxiety and the sense that we can't control anything and we can't even influence anything, we can get seriously cranky, and we do start taking it out on each other those dear to us and those simply unlucky enough to cross our paths at the wrong time. My dear friend and colleague, the Reverend Dr. Elizabeth Stevens, works with congregations experiencing conflict. And she has a theory that people in congregations or in families or at work or wherever who are feeling distressed and powerless in the face of some current events, it's so easy for us all to turn our anxieties toward the spheres where we do have power. Maybe church, kind of, sort of? Where we do have power and then exert it, their sense of control, in unhealthy ways. And when that bumps up against others who have their own raw nerves and bruised hearts, and everyone is more sensitive to and prone to reacting rather than making thoughtful and caring responses, well, it can feed conflict and rancor even among the people that we are in a covenantal community with. It happens. But when Elizabeth shares this dynamic with conflict, with congregations in conflict, she watches everyone calm down. She says, just realizing that the energy behind the conflict was distress rather than aggression or dislike or I'm gonna get you, buddy, kind of feeling, it can change the whole dynamic. And it reminded her of the words of a wise elder in her own church. Sometimes, some people just need a little extra grace. And right now, she continues, we all need a little extra grace. We need to offer it to ourselves and tend to our own jangling nerves. And we need to offer it to each other. And most importantly, we need to remember that we are all in this together. Now is a time when every iota of love that we have is needed to soothe the many hurts in our broken and beautiful world. I am aware of how complicated Mother's Day can be. The relationship that people have with our mothers and our children, all of that can be very complicated. And one of the things that's hard about it for everyone, from all the angles, is that sometimes we hold up this ideal of mother love as being this incredible self-sacrificing, unconditional thing that is impossible for anyone to do all the time. And that kind of love, keeping a love at the center that is kind, intentionally so, that is self-sacrificing when appropriate, that is blessed, offering grace rather than withholding it. That is the kind of love that we can emulate and think about on Mother's Day, even as complicated as all those relationships can be. We need love and kindness. And the thing is that the kind of stress that we are under right now is very hard on us physically, emotionally, even spiritually. Stress just by itself can bring on something that looks and feels very much like a heart attack, but is not. Medically, this is called stress cardiomyopathy. Most often it comes physically to people who have experienced some significant trauma. But in common parlance, doctors call it broken heart syndrome. I have not had such pangs of the heart that I thought that I was having also what people now call a cardiac event. Though my heart is breaking. In an article titled, Imagining a Better World from Heartbreak to Wholeheartedness, psychologist and mindfulness practitioner Radul Weininger talks about her own stress cardiomyopathy event. I see myself as a canary in a coal mine, she writes. My body easily picks up the world's suffering, and at the same time, I am aware that innumerable others are affected as I am. Has the palpable pain of what is going on sent us reeling into shock? Are we crushed on the floor, frozen and despondent? Sometimes, too often. Are we suffering collective heartbreak syndrome? We may be. We may be. She goes on, our hearts do not thrive in a landscape of cruelty. And becoming wholehearted again takes practice. Meditation and mindfulness practices can help, bring us just aware and maybe just into the body a little bit and not freaked out and in a fetal position on the floor, breathing a little bit. And I would add to her list a practice of community, being with people who share values and care about each other, like this church. A practice of community can help us stay grounded with our heads on straight. And from there are all kinds of places places to turn. She goes on. Some of us feel called to go into the streets and reclaim our humanity. But instead of rallying against what we detest, we can exclaim what we need and want to reclaim. Kindness and empathy, dignity and care. Let us join Dr. King and imagine and fight for a better world together. Our protest signs can still say what we oppose, and yet we can also add in our yeses. Our signs can demand compassion, respect, dignity, love, maybe even kindness. We need to protest and speak out and resist publicly and fiercely. Yet as Buddhist scholar and activist Joanna Macy says, social activism is every act we do for more than our self-interest. That means every act of service, from random and even planned acts of kindness to protesting on the streets. All of it helps. Calling your grocery clerk by name. That is social activism. I do know that when I feel intentionally kind, I feel less brokenhearted and growing more and more wholehearted. And perhaps the call center human at the other end of the line does too. My kindness is not completely random. And I do some of it out of self-interest because golly, it makes me feel better. But I also do it out of compassion and solidarity with people in miserable jobs and people whose lives are profoundly threatened in a world that is growing even crueler. In a world that is growing crueler and crueler, nasty sometimes, mean, kindness is a form of protest. It's small, it can be small, it can be ginormous. And in a cruel, divided world, it is a powerful form of resistance, even protest. We all need a little extra grace about now. May we both offer such grace to others and notice and accept the grace that others bring to us. Now is a time that our hearts open with the flowers. Winter is past. There is beauty and possibility in the spring. And our hearts do turn to all kinds of love. May our hearts turn to kindness as well. Amen. May it be so. Please join me in prayer. Holy beingness of many names and no name, strength and power of kindness, Spirit of life which dwells within and among and beyond us this day and always. May we honor those of all genders who have nurtured, loved, and mothered us. May we hold in our hearts those who have lost dear ones. And through it all, may our hearts be whole, even as they are breaking. May our hearts grow toward wholeness. And may wholeness lead to kindness, and may it circle and embrace a hurting world. And may all those who are ill find healing. May those who are in despair find hope. May those who are without shelter find home. And may all who are suffering conflict and war in Pakistan and India, Gaza and Israel, Sudan, Ukraine, and other conflicts we may not even know about, may we all know peace. Amen. And blessed be.
Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing Come Sing a Song with Me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your heart. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find.
Please join me in reading the words on the screen as we prepare to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment, those we carry into our lives until we are together again.
All are invited into the sanctuary after the service for coffee, tea, bagels, and conversation in our community room, which we call Berg Hall, which is through either sets of doors over here. You can drop by the table under the connecting table and the connecting center to visit with folks waiting to say hello, learn more about the church. There's also someone at the social action table to share ways that this congregation lives out its values of equity and inclusion and kindness in the community. And then also, come on back at 11:30 for the budget conversation. Okay. I leave you with words from two people. First, a repeat of what Bob Carey tells us, that unexpected kindness is the most powerful, least costly, and most underrated agent of human change. And also from Margaret Mead, who tells us to never doubt the power of small groups of thoughtful, committed citizens to change the world. It's the only thing she says that can. So may you all go forth as a small-ish group of powerful, thoughtful, committed, and kind humans bent on changing the world for good. Go forth in love, go forth in peace, go forth in kindness. May it be so.